I would like to give a bit background information. I'm part of a research program. It is education as welfare for socially vulnerable young people in Europe. So we are a European program with different countries like Sweden, Germany, Belgium, England, Switzerland, and Italy. And we are researching socially vulnerable young people in Europe with the lenses of capability approach. And also capability approach a lot discuss well-being and agency and how people are acting as active agents and to for their good life, for their well-being. And you can also think well-being, it's a very huge and it's a very vague concept, what is well-being in capability approach, because it's not a complete theory and there are some authors discussing it's already a complete theory and some authors are still discussing it's a framework. It is a good framework to understand what people need and what are the obstacles and what would be the policy orientation to remove these obstacles from people's life. So in my research, it's my PhD research, I'm concentrating on young girls from Turkish migration background in Germany. Little bit of background, Turkish migrants are the highest number of migrants in Germany, and comparing to Europe, 60% of the migrants from Turkish origin are living in Germany. How the connection starts with Germany and Turkey after the post-war Second World War, Germany is industrializing and looking for labor from South Europe, Spain, Portugal, Greece, Italy, and also from Turkey. So in the late 50s, beginning of 60s, that's how the labor migration starts to Germany. And then it's called Gastarbeiter, which means guest workers. Germany is thinking these people will come, and after 4 or 5 years, they will leave from Germany, and then they will not remain. But unfortunately, it's not like that. These people are remaining there, having kids. They send their kids to school, and then they have new generation, second and third generation. And Germany is not accepting it's a migrant country. Even looking at the statistics, Germany has the highest migrant population after the United States in OECD countries. 12% of the population was born in another country. But until 2000, Germany is not mentioning it's a migrant country and it's ignoring. And until Pisa shock, which is until the beginning of 2000, because Germany thinks it's one of the country with the very high quality of education and everything is working, but then PISA results, which shows that it's not true. And then the discussion in Germany starts what to do, how to integrate, and these young people, and later on in few years, these young people in France are protesting and burning Paris, if you remember, in the fall 2005. And then last year in England, very similar one happened. So now there is more discussion in the society, how to really make them part of the society. But when I was just listening the Kristina Kumplainen, I was thinking how it goes in, I will give a little bit of piece of my research and discussion that goes in German schools. So looking at the German youth studies, it's also quite new. There are some studies which are conducted by Raeln and Andresen. It's children in Germany, 2007 and 2010, but these research are just conducted for all children, but they take children until the age of 21. So, and then they are just discussing what are the vulnerability and what makes children and young people vulnerable in Germany. And they found 4 results, and one of the results is coming from a migrant family, and the other one is growing up in new German states, which means after the accession of unification of Germany in 1990. And the third one is belonging to a family which is from low socioeconomic background. But also they're discussing coming from a migrant family intersects with different factors. So it is something that discussing these young people with migration background is something necessary to discuss in both scientific research and also policy orientation. And also other research related to socially disadvantaged children, which is important for my research because they operationalize capability approach with socially young people and children in the big cities in Berlin, Hamburg, and Frankfurt. So these also studies, results of these studies have been also beginning of my starting points of my own doctoral work. What I'm aiming in my personal research is, I'm conducting research with 14 to 17-year-old young girls from Turkish Muslim background, because also Turks are very diverse, and there are also Christian ones in Germany. I'm analyzing their good life, good school education, what they mean. I'm using participatory approach I will discuss, and I'm discussing what does it mean a good school education, their aspirations, and what they do, how they act as active agents to remove these obstacles they see in their lives, and how school is promoting this agency and supporting them to become active agents to have a good life and good school education in Germany. Because looking at the general research in Germany, especially after 2000, all research is focusing on PISA results and lots of quantitative research and lots of research on how to improve PISA results. Because also not only migrants are lagging behind, also comparing other countries' results in PISA, German elites, which are going to gymnasium, higher level of education, is also lagging behind. So there's not almost studies, just this two I showed. There are not any other studies that discusses young people's agency and aspirations and how they define good life and what they see obstacles in their lives. And how I conceptualize, as I said, I'm using capability approach, which we can think as opportunities. How capabilities are enhanced or deprived by migration background, gender, and ethnicity. So I have 4 research questions, but I just brought one of the research questions, which is more related to the topic of this conference. How is the well-being of these girls related to opportunities, limitations, which is experience burdens, agency, spaces and options for a good life and good school education? So when I'm discussing with them in my data collection, I start with how they define what's a good life. So I ask them, what do you think a good life is? So for this, I'm using theoretical frame as capability approach. And Sam is one of the developer who got in 1998 Nobel Prize. And also capability approach is a lot developed by Marta Nussbaum. But generally I'm using Sam's frame of agency. And Sam describes agency as notion includes action for acting for others, as well as realization of goals and values the person has reason to value, whether or not they are connected with her own well-being. And also he continues in 1999, describing agency to a person's ability to pursue and realize goals that he or she values and has reason to value. An agent is someone who acts and brings about change. Agency is related to other terms such as self-determination, empowerment, authentic self-direction, autonomy, participation, leadership, entrepreneurship, and so on. So how I'm operationalizing, I'm using focus groups that I'm discussing with 5 to 6 young girls. All are generally the focus groups were 14 to 17, but in each group I had 15 to 17 or 16 to 17. And I have been asking them, as in youth research, what are their everyday life? So as an introduction question. And I continued with what does it mean a good life for them? And what does it mean a good school education? And what are the limitations they see and what kind of burdens they have to approach this good school education and good life in Germany? And what they are doing to remove inside of school and outside of school, and their aspirations. And after the focus groups, I asked them who would like to join an individual interview, and generally they all wanted to be interviewed individually. And I used life history methodology, starting from the first memories they remember from kindergarten or even previously what they were doing, and then continuing how they perceived their kindergarten years and their elementary school, which is 4 years in Germany, and then their middle school, and until that time how they experienced school, relationships with teachers, friends, and then identity, and again I ask them what do they mean with good life and what does it mean a good school education, and there was a huge discussion about what they see as limitations in their life and what they do. So I'm sorry, it was already here. So as I said, I did good life, and I was I'm I'm analyzing group capabilities, collective agency, and adaptive preferences, because also group capabilities, capability approach is a lot criticized that it's only discussing about individuals but not groups. And then I discussed collective agency, so how they, as a girls from Turkish migration background or Turkish origin, what they do together to remove these obstacles. And I was also looking and analyzing their adaptive preferences. And after the focus groups, I gave them socio-demographic questionnaires, because also capability approach is discussing. People are, even they use their agency, but they are limited with the other factors, other external factors like age, disability, religion, culture, policies. So I just used socio-demographic questionnaire to see what kind of different conversion factors, obstacles they have that, because they're underage, under 18, to also discuss what can be removed, how they can be supported by the institutions and school type of institutions to also remove these obstacles. And after the focus groups, as I said, I've conducted individual interviews discussing childhood, growing up experiences, friendship, family relations, relations at school, identity and belonging. So how did I select the school? Who are attending to middle track of education, which is called Realschule, and I conducted in 3 different cities of North Rhine-Westphalia, which is one of the biggest states of Germany. There are 16 states, and it is on the western part of Germany, and there are 4.5 million migrants in this state. And 2 million are from Muslim background, and 1 million is Muslim Turkish background. And I conducted 1 to 1.5 hours focus groups, and it varies. And then individual interviews were from 1 hour to 1.5 hours. So how I conducted this, how I operationalized this good life, good school education, and what they see as limitations and how they remove them. I used a model which is developed by Biceri and Libabora, two development economists from Italy, from University of Florence. So I asked them, so it gives the guideline as, let the children conceptualize the capabilities, dimensions without any interference. So I just asked them, so what do you think is a good life for you? And then after we discuss and we find some common definitions together, and there's not always something common, there's always somebody thinks different, but we try to find democratically what would be. And then I asked them, focus on the personal achieved functions for each dimension of well-being. So I asked them, do you have this opportunity? And then I discussed with them, focus on community capabilities to define the relevance of each dimension, which means I asked them, okay, you discussed that it's important for a good life, but do you think like Turkish girls at your age, from 15 to 17, are having this opportunity in Germany? Of course, I'm not asking them as capability, I'm asking them as opportunity. And then to find out adaptive preferences, I'm also asking, do you think this opportunity is also important for someone from German background, for a German girl? I mean, it worked very well for stereotyping, but I think it was also very fruitful to find out these adaptive preferences. And then I was asking them, could you please put this 3-4 dimensions, which is the most important to the least important for a good life or for a good school education. And then I have been discussing with them what they are doing to remove this obstacle. So as I said, so I'm still it's my second year. I'm moving towards the third year. So I have been still collecting data, and I will continue collecting data until the end of this month. But I have started my data collection already back in 2011 October, and I have done some first results, very rough results. It's very different in Germany, I think, at least for the girls I'm conducting data, because there are so many, they face with lots of discrimination in Germany at school, and they discuss a lot. For example, when I ask them, what do you see as a limitation for a good life? They didn't say money, they didn't say unemployment, but they said racism and some prejudice and stereotyping in Germany. So I was telling them, what is a good life, for example? And they said it's enough money, work, good education, to go to university, have a good job. And I asked them, okay, do you have the capability, do you have the opportunity for finding a good job? And then they were saying, well, not for us. I said, why? Why don't you think, like, what is the problem? And they said, do you think that there are not enough jobs in Germany or enough education placements in Germany? They said, no, everything is enough. There's enough jobs, enough school places. But then I was asking them, what is the matter? And they said, not for us. And I was like, digging more. So what is the matter? Why for everyone there is a good school education opportunity and good school, but why not for you? And they said, because we are foreigners. And these young girls are second or third generation, and all are German citizens. And they were just discussing how racism, discrimination in school and outside school, and it's also scientifically improved something that in German schools, children and young people from migration background, especially from Turkish origin, are discriminated, and it's called institutional discrimination. So then it was interesting to discuss agency for me, what they are doing, and how they are trying to struggle with the teachers to remove these obstacles, and how they are raising their voice. So it was very interesting discussions took place. But generally, what they discuss is they want to become teachers, for example, in the future, or they want to become police. And whomever I discuss or whomever I interview, they all want to become teachers in the future. They didn't want to say they want to become doctor. Maybe there's only one, and only one wants to study international business because somebody in her family is studying. But all want to become police and teachers. And also how they use their agency is really struggling inside of the school to, for example, to wear headscarf or not to go to swimming, because there's a swimming lesson in Germany and all teachers are forcing them to go. And then it's a big struggle for them, how they fight with the teachers. Teachers don't understand differences, why they act like this, because they are not trained for working with the multicultural, multi-diverse groups. So it's generally taking place, this agency, in my very rough analysis, struggling inside of teachers to be, make them visible, their needs and their differences. So there's a little time left, but just want to give you a little example, and also how they use their agency. For example, they were just thinking they were ignored in the classroom, that the teacher was not teaching them. He was just teaching the boys in front of the desk, in front of the class. So these girls are just thinking what to do, and first they are telling the teacher that maybe they are not learning anything, and then they want to learn mathematics. But then he's replying that he's not a private teacher, he cannot teach them, that's how he's doing. He just comes to class, and then he's just writing a like mathematical problem, and then asking them to solve, and speaking with the boys in the front desk, and then telling them to solve. And then so they don't like the math teacher, and then they are thinking what to do. And then they just think that they will go and tell the head teacher to find a solution, writing and they are doing it at the age of 15, and writing a document for the head teacher and asking other pupils to sign, and they are giving it to head teacher to be discussed, and then head teacher is asking teacher to come and also find a solution. So I just want to take this small example, but in the data I'm seeing all what is going with agency is struggling with teachers and struggling with the remove the obstacles, like which would be normal practice to learn in the school or be understood, but unfortunately in my data it's going their agency just struggling and trying to get normal living space or learning space, which is not anything maybe too luxury. Time is so limited. I was also getting a bit of nervous, not to 1 minute was left. So it's still, as I said, it's an ongoing research project. I'm still collecting data and analyzing data. I hope I try to make a sense, but hopefully if there is something left open, please ask me. I'm happy to discuss in details. Thank you.